Alright, I'm not even trolling, guys. Magnet Warriors actually took first place in OCG at a small tournament, and I'm just like, dude, this has to be a prank. But the guy was actually playing out with maxed out Ash Blossoms, and that's not a cheap card, so let's go ahead and try out the deck, and I'll give you guys the deck profile right after we get this loss in. I already just feel like the deck is not that good. I mean, when you're playing against Spirals, how are you supposed to beat them? Like, honestly, if you do go first, you could potentially make, a few Firewall Dragons. That card, I hear, is pretty good. But anyways, my opponent is going first. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys, like myself, probably don't know too much about this. Actually, let's go ahead and swap over overlays because we are in the duel now. What the heck is this? Okay, so he's playing something that's not Spiral, so that means we might actually have a chance. But no, like, it's crazy what the tournament turn-ins out are for Spirals. It's like 99% Spirals, like one or two random decks here or there. And I wanted to cover this deck because, I mean, who would have thought like the Alpha, Beta, Gamma cards would actually see play in competitive? Not me. I'm actually thinking about just summoning this card because I hear it's a pretty good card. However, I'll probably open up with a Brilliant Fusion first, and then I'll maybe go off with my play, and then, once I get Solemn, I'll just go ahead and activate some other cards. But there's a lot of cards that have a little bit of potential here, and I'll get into that in a second. Wish I had a level 4 rock monster that I could really use. Because it actually has to have the same level. And also, Gemini Obsidian, not the greatest of cards drawn, so it's just kind of used for our Brilliant Fusion over here. But anyways, we'll go ahead and see pretty soon what's going to happen. But I guess we can technically get one in the grave. So we went for a Curried Bandit. What were the cards? I wasn't... Okay, so he's adding... What is this? DD Recruits. It was that the card. If your opponent controls more monsters than you can target any number of DD monsters or Dark Contract in the graveyard with the difference and add them to your hand. Okay, well, let's go ahead and first off get started with, of course, the Brilliant Fusion. Fantastic, fantastic card. Wish I just had another level 4. Although I can technically search out a level 4 anyway, so as material, we definitely are going to have to select this. And then the other one, I can actually do a vanilla over here because this card will actually activate its effect, and it can actually special summon that monster. Now, alternatively, there are other cards which we can get effects, but I want to just go ahead and just send one of these. To me, it doesn't really matter exactly which one, but anyways, let's go ahead and bust this out. In attack position, no fear. We're actually going to be using Link for Link material, so don't worry about that being like tactically negative right now. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and go for this effect. Unfortunately, we're going to have to get rid of Fossil Dyna over here for this because, like I said, I wanted another level 4, but we only have access to this one. And, okay, well, once he decides to go for his play. Get that, where that Solemn at. I was thinking about just going for Fossil Dyna, but maybe. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate that effect, and I want to actually go for this. So we're going to be able to special summon another rock monster that is level 4, and that's kind of key in here. I was thinking the deck should definitely make good use of Terraform because they have a pretty decent field spell card, which I didn't actually realize was a thing. But anyways, we have a Delta over here, so this one lets us send another Magnet Warrior to the graveyard. So we're going to go ahead and summon this. This is basically just like going into like other extra link cards. So when this card is normal or special, I can send a card to the graveyard over here. Currently we have one in the graveyard. And there's another card that lets us technically get back the cards later down the line. Where's the... we could send a... yeah, it's the one that sends... they all look the same to me, honestly. But anyways, I just want to start sending all of the vanillas. I think that is a key. So right now we currently have 2. And then we can go ahead and go into a Link monster over here. There's really nothing to bounce back. Let's co-link with this one. Okay, yeah, this is the one I want. Okay, and that will boost up our attack by a little bit over here. He's probably reading these alpha cards because, like, who planned them, right? But yeah, this is a nice little stepping stone, and it can add back an Earth monster, which will probably be the Doki Doki because it opens up a lot of stuff for the deck. Actually, we could go in and straight up into Decode Talker. I don't think it's actually necessary though. We're just gonna go ahead and attack into him. And Delta can actually tribute itself to grab out another card, which can actually be the Alpha. Unfortunately, drawing both. What the heck is this guy doing? Emergency provisions? Alright, interesting, interesting. So he's going to heal up for some life points. I have no idea if that is relevant to some type of combo that he's going for, but shoot, man. The Alpha Magnetic Warrior is too strong, man. I don't know why he activated that like immediately. It's probably because he wants like less cards or something. But yeah, it's going to be the end of our turn right here. And this one actually has an effect during my opponent's turn. So once it goes to the graveyard, I can banish up to 3 from the graveyard. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not... Okay, this is the one that lets us add 1. This one is the one where if this card is sent to the graveyard, you banish 3 level 4 lower Magnet Warriors, except for itself, to special 1 Vacuring, ignoring its summoning conditions. And hopefully by then we'll be able to get out another... we need Beta now in the graveyard, because once Beta goes into the graveyard, we will then have all 3. Then we can get rid of the Vacuron and special 3 monsters, and maybe we will have something that survives. We'll have to wait and see. Depending on what this guy decides to make. I don't know what the heck he is playing. It looks like something cheesy because I do see Hope for Escape and I do see Emergency Provisions. It's got to be some type of like change life points or something like that. It's gonna be some self-destruct button or something. I don't know. So DD Human Resources. So you shuffle 3 cards into the deck. Any combination of DD monsters in your hand for the graveyard. Then you can add 2 DD monsters from your deck to your hand. And unfortunately, we don't have any of the Ash Blossoms. We do have maxed out copies of them in this deck because this was a net decked. I still can't believe do the Alpha Beta. I might not even be playing this deck efficiently, but still, like, I still am amazed that someone, first off, is even playing it. Second off, oh my gosh, it actually got first place set. And even though it's locals, guys, it's still, there's still people playing them spirals. I mean, it was in the same list over there. I mean, heck, every list has, like, spirals at, like, 90%. But anyways, he's going to summon the Cerberus, so you can target a DD monster and change its level to 4, and then it gains... 400 attack and defense. Okay, so if that's all he's summoning, then that's 100% okay. I'm not worried about this at all. Let's see what he decides to attack. I'll probably attack... Oh, okay. Yes, I do want this effect, which then lets us add 1 from our deck to our hand. And I'm going to go ahead and go for this. I can actually go for this to summon another card over here. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be going for this. So go for the Doki Doki, a really, really good card. Again, it's like a stepping stone for links, but in addition to that, it lets you cycle through and kind of go through your cards a little bit faster. Alright, so we're going to get rid of the Alpha over here. And we're waiting for him to end his turn. Oh wait, that's its Pendulum effect. Its monster effect is, this card is in... When this card is Pendulum Summoned from the hand while you control a DD monster other than itself, you can target 1 continuous spell card in your graveyard and add to your hand. And then what does this one do for its Pendulum? Once per turn, you can target DD, it gains 800 attack till the end of the turn. Okay, I gotcha. Oh, we got Delta over here. That's pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and normal summon this guy over here. And then we'll go ahead and activate its effect. And then we'll let us special summon. And we can go for Delta. Another one. And then we'll get his effect, and we can send a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and send this to the graveyard. And we'll go into our Decode Talker, or we have some options here. I just really want to get that card in the grave, honestly. I'm trying to think of what would be the best option, because I really don't need to go for Too many things. I just really need to get... Actually, you know what? Let's try this. Let's go for this. And then I'm going to get that effect. And then I'm going to go ahead and banish. Whoops. Okay. Now it's letting me select them all. Okay. And we summoned our beast, our boy over here. Please don't negate this. Okay, cool. So this one has the effect of... I contribute it to actually go for, well, I mean, at this point, I would rather just try to attack for, attempt to go for game. Please don't have any back row. I could go into Firewall Dragon. This one has the effect of, by contributing alpha, beta, and that's how you summon it. And then I contribute this card, then I can target all of those 3 in the graveyard, and then special summon them. There's another card that actually lets them be special summoned. From the banish zone, I believe. But we could go for this. I'm almost down to go for this. But we'd only get the 3rd effect, which I don't know if I'm interested in doing right now. But we're going to go ahead and just attack over him. And I have no idea what the heck he's playing over here. I could kind of push for more. Because we only need banish... Oh, what was it? Banish Magnet... 3 level, 4 level Magnet Warrior monsters. So I still have... This would be... Is it except itself? So I would actually not be able to go for that. So I don't know. I almost kind of want to go for that effect of just... We would have a, what is it, 3? Once we're doing special summon a monster from our hand, we could technically special summon this and add another one. That could be an option. Do I want to do it? It's probably not the best option, but for the sake of, you know, entertainment purposes, all right, we're gonna go for it. We will indeed go for it. All right, so this card has a pretty awesome effect. So once per turn, I can special summon 1 monster from my hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and just activate this, and go ahead and special summon it. And when this card is normal or special summon, I get to add 1. And I can go ahead and add Berseryon, the electromagnetic warrior. And we are good. And so this one, it is able to summon itself by banishing a alpha. It's basically the upgraded versions. So we have alpha over here, and we have delta. You have to banish alpha, beta, and gamma. So you actually don't need delta, I guess. Okay, I gotcha. Delta is just another one. This is like the first time I'm pretty sure I probably played this deck like a long time ago, like once or something like that. And before I actually lose because of this. But I'm just gonna play it once because I honestly don't know like the variants of this deck. Although I want to say it's just kind of a link-oriented deck at its core. But we'll see if we can deal with this deck. So Dark Contract with the Yami Maki. I don't know if I've seen this card before. So once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. You can only use... Oh, so all I have to do is just like end my turn and I win. Unless, of course, he gets out. There's one DD card that can actually give him some life points or something like that. But I guess I just win unless he's got some other like crazy option. I'm probably gonna get pranked at the very end. He's gonna have something like swaps life points, then I take like some damage or something. I should have game, but I really have honestly no idea what I'm doing with this deck. Although I thought it was interesting, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it out. We'll play it once. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go for the summon of this. Then we'll get that extra effect to add another one. Oh, you know what I should be doing? He doesn't even have to declare attack. Once per turn during my opponent's turn, I can just activate this effect. I tribute it to special summon another Magnet Warrior monster. So ideally, guys, what I would have done is tribute it for the last piece that I needed to summon up the boss monster. At this point, I would have 2 of the boss monsters. Okay, so that's a little quick tip. Don't copy what I just did because that was bad. But like I said, guys, the deck actually did, like I said, get first place. And... There's tons of spirals in there. Okay, so he's activating Dark Contract. So he's gonna go ahead and target a card in the field and destroy it. That's it. Like, I have no idea what. I want to say his deck is some type of OTK deck. I mean, like I said, with Hope for Escape, that's all I can really assume here. But I'm gonna go ahead and add this, and I don't know what the heck he's going to be destroying. Okay. I can just activate this, and I can special summon this card over here. And now I can actually go for some extra cards if I wanted to. I kind of like this card. There's really nothing that like I could stop him from like doing, but for the sake of making extra cards, oh, we could go into Gorgonic Guardian. That's actually a pretty cool card. So I can detach a material from this card, target face up monster control, its attack becomes 0, and it negates its effect. So I could technically go for that because it does require rock monsters, and this would work for that. Although I'm just going to go ahead and make this card over here, and I'm going to send those to the graveyard. And I can just go ahead and bounce this back. No, okay. There we go, bouncing it back. Very, very good play. This is bad plays, by the way. I'm just doing it for meme purposes, guys. Oh wait, so yeah, I still need one more, which I could get next turn. I'm just gonna bounce my own card back for bad plays, man, bad plays. And I think, is that it? Okay. I was thinking that he was going to do something a little bit strange. Now that you guys have kind of got a decent understanding, this is like I said, it's like my first time playing this deck. I really had no idea what I was going to really do with it. But I think like the main core concept is using Doki Doki, which I showed off. This is kind of an example of the deck in action. There is one card that I want to briefly go over when I go over the deck profile, but let's go ahead and get started. So first off, we got 3 copies of, well, 1 copy of each of the vanillas to equal up 3 of the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and then we have Kirin the Magna Warrior. I think this card is just used for a beat stick, although I'm not sure how I feel about banishing these cards, although this card, I believe this one gets them back, yeah. So you banish these cards, go for this guy, and then this guy is kind of a beater. He has some random 3850 defense points, and then we have 2 copies of Berserkion. So this is kind of like the newer boss monster of the deck, and so if it is destroyed by battle, or if in its owner's possession by opponent's card effect, so pretty much unless it's getting bounced back, you can target each one of the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, and then you get to special summon them. Oh wait, hold on. This one summons the upgraded versions. These are like the regular ones. These are the upgraded ones. Okay, so this one special summons the Alpha, the Electromagnet. So these are the magnet ones, and these are the electromagnet ones. So these are like, again, these ones support this one. I'm not sure how I even feel about this engine, but perhaps there is another play that I was unaware of that would make this much more viable. But I just think it's interesting, all right, at the end of the day. But next up, there's another card. I didn't get to go over it in my video because we never drew it, but Black Dragon has the effect where you banish 3 Earth monsters to summon it, and then Rock-type monsters you control cannot be destroyed except by battle. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add up to 3 rock monsters from your deck to your hand whose total level equals 8. So what you would do with that, my assumption, is to actually go for 2 level 4s, and then on top of that you go for a Doki Doki. And then on top of that we got 3 of the Delta, and then 1 Fossil Dyna, maybe as just like a tech card, maybe when he's out of just like resources, he's going for that Fossil Dyna play to set it. It could be an option to kind of reestablish your board after maybe you've lost control of the game. And then we have 3 copies of Alpha, so Delta is the one where you get to send 1, and then this was the one where you get to add the newer boss monster guy, and then this one lets you add a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster. So this one searches out the small ones, this one searches out the big one, this one is a Foolish Burial for the archetype. Then you have 2 copies of Gemini Obsidian, so if this card is sent from your hand to the graveyard, you target a level 4 or lower normal monster in the graveyard and special summon that target. So this, I assume that you're actually using it with the Doki Doki. That would be like ideal if you utilized it with that. At first I was thinking, oh, it just sends to the graveyard for... I was thinking like the other Gemini fusion would be better, but I wanted to just play... Again, it's his deck, man. I gotta run it originally. But an interesting choice to choose Obsidian over like the other Brilliant Fusion targets that we normally are familiar with. Next up, we have 3 copies of Gamma. So I don't think I went over this card because we didn't actually draw it, I believe, during the gameplay. So if this card is normal or special, you get to special 1 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your hand except for itself. And then most of them have the effect where you can actually tribute to special something like another magnet. So you can kind of go through like all of your magnets kind of fast over there. And then we have 3 copies, of course, of Doki Doki, which is kind of a stepping stone to make like other Link monsters, as you guys saw during the replay, or not the live play, I guess I should say. I mean, we made this guy. This guy's pretty cool. I think he's awesome. It is a newer card that we don't have yet. But anyways, next up, there is normally 2 copies of Maxi. I just wanted to mention that as a side note. Obviously, you can play like another copy of Fossil or whatever you want. I decided to throw in 1 copy of Ghost Ogre because it's another hand trap, because we only have 1 in the TCG. Then we have, so like, it's supposed to be 2 Maxis. And then we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. And then we have 1 copy of Localized Trinade. Now, I'm placing this instead of Harpy's Feather Duster because that card is actually banned in the TCG. So this is probably the most similar card that you can use. We have 3 copies of Brilliant, 3 copies of Magnetic Field. Magnetic Field is actually a really great card. So if you control a level 4 or lower Earth Rock type monster, you can target a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster and you special summon it. That's a really good effect, and then you can only use this effect about once per turn. Then also once per turn at the end of the damage step, when an Earth Rock type monster you control battled an opponent's monster, but the opponent's monster was not destroyed by battle, you can return that opponent's monster to the hand. So it is kind of protection. Most of the monsters that they bounce themselves back to like get out another card. That, again, it's going to let you search out and get extra advantage anyways. And then we have 3 copies of Return to the Front Lines. Some of them do activate their effects when they're normal or special. Obviously the vanilla is not going to do too much there, but interesting. It's a really cool thing to see this. Oh, for the extra deck, we got the Gemite Zirconia, we got Black Rose, we got Utopia, Lightning, and then regular Utopia number 41, Beast Dweller, Garnet Guardian, Beryl Lord or Boreal Load Dragon. Then we have Scoldy. That's one of the newer cards. We didn't bust it out. We have 2 copies of Firewall Dragon. Actually, I think there was one point where I could have summoned it, but I'm making this card because it's new and I wanted to show it off during the gameplay. And then we have Decode Talker, Action Magician, and Mrs. Radiant, and then Code Talker. But let me know, guys, if you guys know any more combos with this deck that I perhaps could have done during the replays, because like I said, it's like my first time checking out this deck, because I think I played it a long time ago when it was first announced, and then like no one really cared about it, but it did get first place in OCG at a smaller tournament, and it's cool to see innovation still exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! When it's not Spirals, because I know everyone is on that Spiral hate train right now, they're just tired of it, but I understand the frustration. So there it is, guys. Have some fun with the Magnet Warriors. I don't think this is a very like strong competitive deck, but it's not terrible, alright? It's not like it's not Ice Barrier bad, but it's kind of interesting to see someone actually trying to run it. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this deck actually in action. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more low, I don't know if this is low ranked decks. Low-rated decks, man. But anyways, I mean, it did get first place. Maybe is a meta in the future, Kappa. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.